What I would mention is $85 trillion is going to transition in the next 10 years from the baby boomers to Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, and that group.
Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video breakdown, we are going to be bringing to your attention information that the mainstream is never going to cover for you all, showing you guys that the world's largest royal families, hedge funds, pension funds, sovereign development funds, large institutional allocators are 110% interested in cryptocurrencies, digital assets, real-world asset tokenization, and this idea that there is a massive wealth transformation undergoing and happening behind the scenes right now as we speak is 110% happening. And in today's video breakdown, we are going to confirm that for you guys. If you all enjoy these types of deep dives, these types of research video breakdowns, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. If you are bearish on crypto, this video breakdown is most likely going to change your perspective. So watch until the end, because again, this just goes to show that everything that the mainstream media is projecting to you guys is never going to cover things like this. And the question is, why not? Why don't they want you all to know that these large royal families and asset managers are sitting in on these closed door roundtables discussing and talking about adopting digital assets and investing in crypto? Okay, this is so monumental. So we're going to set the tone with today's video breakdown. We're going to go over to an individual representative from Grayscale. And I just want you guys to listen to what this gentleman here has to say about an $85 trillion wealth transformation taking place right now as we speak. Take a second here and just listen to this about 2-minute long video clip before we dive into the fundamentals.
Sean brought up a good point of like kind of the rise of retail, and prior to Block Fuel, I had Pounding the Table, which is another podcast that, you know, focused more on traditional equities and so forth. And so we did the research. I think it was like 100 million plus people that were going to like Robinhood, let's call it, like a lot of these new traders that were coming in, day trading during COVID, you know, and so you get this whole swath of young folks coming in. Now, to Sean's point as well, like crypto has been primarily, obviously there's some folks that are older that are in it, but it is a younger, I'd say, technology aficionados, if you will. How do you guys talk to those younger folks that are coming in that are buying today via Coinbase? I thought you brought up a good point about the ability to like short and trade actually on the market and kind of make those, you know, educated decisions there. But have you guys, you know, when you go talk to institutional, is it a different tone of voice, I guess, than when you're talking to some of the retailers that are out there and folks maybe my age and even younger?
Yeah, it's a great question. Let me give you a couple stats here. So first of all, I would say that to your point, the younger demographic tends to be digitally native. They understand the technology faster because they've grown up, you know, on the technology. My 2-year-old daughter and my 10-year-old, you know, son, my kids can access my iPhone and do things on there I had no idea you could do. Right? And so they've just grown up in a digital world. And so the concept of, you know, a digital asset and digital money, they understand it, right?
Sure.
We believe in long-term investing. So as we talk to that younger, you know, demographic, we really want to, you know, make sure that the real wealth creation is around long-term, patient, consistent investing. And, you know, I think that's an attribute that group does not always think about. And so, you know, that's an element that we consider. What I would mention is $85 trillion is going to transition in the next 10 years from the baby boomers to Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, and that group. That group is digitally native. So you think about, again, all the different tailwinds in crypto. One is just a pure demographic shift, right? Having said that, what's really interesting is when we look at the holder base, right? I think Coinbase talks about 52 million Americans have exposure to crypto today. It's nearly 1 in 6 Americans. We've done some studies. We did a poll with the Harris polling around some of the demographic detail. What was really interesting is, you know, there's a general conception that, you know, the people investing in crypto are young and inexperienced and don't have a lot of wealth. What we found is actually in the data that the demographic that has over $1 million of net worth held crypto at a higher proportion than any other demographic. Looking at it from an income perspective and net worth, which kind of flies in the face of you know, some of the things that we see and think about. You know, this is all.
The highest demographic of crypto holders had a net worth of over $1 million. And he talked about that over the next decade, we are going to see $85 trillion of wealth transfer from baby boomers to millennials and Gen Zers. That is massive, people. This was uploaded 5 days ago and has 45 views. This is, again, John Hoffman. He's the managing director at Grayscale Investment. So I'd take into consideration what this gentleman has to say, especially considering what I'm going to share with you guys in today's video breakdown. All right. So I had to play that to set the tone for today's video. So we're going to go back in time just a couple of days ago to the 12th of February, 2025, looking at an event that just recently took place from the SWFI, which we'll get into in just 1 second. It was called the New Age Wealth Summit. It took place on the 12th of February, 2025, as you guys can see right here. And I want to play just one video clip to set the tone so you all understand that there was no retail investors at this event whatsoever. This is the chairman of this organization. I'm not going to butcher his name. You guys can see it right there. Okay, take a second and just listen to what this dude here says about how there was no retail investors at this event. And it was only large market participants, whom in which we're going to go over in today's video breakdown. Take a second and listen.
They can find in the TBC website, in the Texas Blockchain website. If you Google search Texas Blockchain New Age Wealth or CYPRX New Age Wealth, they will find the link for that. If they are ultra high net worth individuals, they can register, be a part of the event. But we can't take any retail investors into the room, and but we can't take any retail investors into the room, and there's not an solicitation, or we're not selling any product inside.
Yeah.
It's purely an education series for people to educate how is this new age wealth emerging, and why should they be part of the new age wealth.
It's purely an education series as to why these high net worth individuals should be part of this new age wealth transformation, and they cannot take any retail investors into this event. Now, this event that we're going to be discussing and talking about was posted via the Texas Blockchain Council, where they say here, yesterday's New Age Wealth event was hosted by the Texas Blockchain Association, Coinbase, the OMFIF, and the SWFI Institute in Dallas. Brought together by distinguished groups of industry professionals, this premier gathering fosters education and networking among family offices and institutional investors. We are proud to collaborate with these esteemed organizations to drive progress in the digital asset industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you guys, this is the closed door stuff that the mainstream media is never going to share with you guys, okay? They're never going to broadcast this or share that this event ever even took place. Look at this, right? So if we go over to one of the screenshots from the pictures of the event, you can see right up here in the top left-hand corner, right? One of the PowerPoint slides from the panel discussion says institutional adoption of digital assets. And if we go over to the LinkedIn profile of Superstate, who attended this event, Superstate co-founder posted this 3 days ago. Jim Hiltner, CFA, participated in a panel at the NAW 2025 in Dallas, Texas. And it says right here, Unlocking the Power of Tokenization, our opening panel explored how tokenization is revolutionizing real estate, commodities, and other physical assets. This technology is not just changing how we invest, it's reshaping the entire landscape of the global financial system by making previously illiquid assets more accessible and tradable. Esteemed panelists included Head of Digital Assets at Wisdom Tree, William Peck, Bruce Jackson, the Chief of Digital Asset Funds at Apex Group, Jim Hiltner, the co-founder and Head of Business Development at Superstate, Matthew Hugan, the CIO at Bitwise Asset Management, which we'll get into in just 1 second, and a moderator, Anthony B., the Head of Asset Allocators at Coinbase Institutional. Some key takeaways from the event says how tokenization is revolutionizing asset ownership, institutional adoption and regulatory landscapes, and real-world use cases and investment strategies. As you guys heard, the gentleman from the beginning of today's video breakdown, when I opened, he mentioned long-term investing. We're in the midst of a massive transformation, and it would behoove you all to do your research on digital assets that you can house in your portfolio, not financial advice, that have real-world value and utility, because those are the ones most likely that are going to survive long-term. Besides the point, look at some of the hashtags that the SWFI, which, by the way, I said that we'd go over what this organization is. Looking at their LinkedIn profile, you can see right here, it says, the SWFI4 is a family office roundtable by Sovereign Wealth Fund Institute. Okay, so they are a private family office roundtable cohort. And look at their hashtags in this freaking post, people. You cannot make this stuff up. Tokenization, digital assets, wealth revolution, crypto investing, right? Blockchain tech, digital wealth, and fintech innovation. Come on now, people. The mainstream is never going to show you this stuff right here. Now, keep in mind, Superstate just posted this on their LinkedIn profile. In previous video breakdowns, we've shown you guys in detail who's on the Superstate Industry Council. Go check out some of the videos that we've created on XLR on our CYPRX YouTube, and you can see right here, XLR sits on the Superstate Industry Council along with many other large market participants. So keep that in mind. And interestingly enough, I just find this like they literally drop these little tiny gems left and right. Look at what XLR Network just posted on February 14th, 2025. Very simplistic, nothing exquisite. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. Pay attention. XLR Network, like you cannot make this stuff up. Sitting on the Superstate Industry Council, right? Superstate just posting on their LinkedIn profile that they attended this event where these ultra high net worth individuals are talking about investment strategies and crypto investing. Come on now, you got to put two and two together. This industry is about to see massive exponential growth over the coming years as this wealth transformation continues to unfold. Here's another little tiny key takeaway from the event where they talked about the impact of tokenization and reshaping traditional assets, the rise of digital investments and their implication for wealth creation, navigating regulatory landscape, and strategies to stay ahead of the curve in 2025. So again, these large market participants, they're talking about digital asset strategies. They're talking about investing in cryptocurrency, and they are having these private roundtable meetings, these closed door events that the mainstream is never going to view into. Okay. So whenever you see a correction in this market, whenever you see a pullback, think of events like this. They're talking about how they can survive 5 years, 10 years down the road. And so as a manual retail participant, we should have that same long-term trajectory. Now, again, just to show you guys some more documents from the event, this is from the SWFI Sovereign Wealth Fund Institute. This is about the event. You can see right here, February 12th, 2025, and it talks about education. It says, learn from industry pioneers and visionaries about the emerging trends, market intelligence, and the future of digital assets while equipping yourself with the knowledge to navigate and capitalize on this transformative era. So again, it's telling you all that there is a massive transformation undergoing and happening right now before our very eyes. So I thought that that was very interesting. I wanted to show you guys some upcoming events, to show you guys some participants that will be attending these upcoming events. This is directly on the SWFI website. And if we scroll right down here, you can see that it mentions upcoming events. You have the SWFI Fort North America 2025 in Dallas, Texas in October. And then you also have an event in June in London in 2025 as well. Clicking on this event, this is the last little tiny thing that I'm going to share with you guys before we get into those two organizations that attended this event. And I'm going to play one more video clip for you guys. Okay. It's going to absolutely blow your mind and confirm that everybody should be paying attention to this information. Check this out. Who's going to be in the room at this event that is coming up in Dallas, Texas, April 1st to the 3rd in 2025? Look at this. Okay. Remember, the gentleman said no retail participants. You have royal families, family offices from multiple countries, sovereign development funds. I mean, just take a look at this list, right? Pension funds, large financial institutions, hedge funds, asset managers, regulators, wealth advisors, Fortune 500 companies, and the list goes on. This is massive. And people that are not, again, like XLR said on their post on X, not paying attention are going to miss out on such a massive wealth transformation over the coming years. I could not even imagine not having crypto in a portfolio by 2030 and beyond. Okay. So make sure you guys are tapped in. Now, real fast, again, we had two other organizations, Bitwise and Wisdom Tree, attend that recent event, February 12th, 2025. Well, if you go to the Bitwise website, what I find interesting, and I just pick up on these key little tiny details, it says here, crypto funds backed by crypto specialists. As crypto grows, we believe everyone should have a simple and familiar way to access it. Do you guys remember the gentleman, the chairman of the Sovereign Wealth Fund Institute that I had you listen to just a second ago? Listen to what he says about how everyone with a mobile device should know about this. Keep in mind, this video breakdown was uploaded 5 days ago and has 46 views. That just goes to prove my point that no one is paying attention to this information, let alone what he says here.
For every category, everybody's today, anyone who has a mobile in their hand, sophisticated with them using mobile, they should know about this.
They
That's
have
why
access to it.
They have access to it, and we believe they should know about it.
Everyone with a mobile device should know about this because they have access to it. Keep in mind, this is the individual chairman that hosted this event. At the event, attended this organization, Bitwise, and on the bitwiseinvestment.com website, it literally says, as crypto grows, we believe everyone should have a simple and familiar way to access it. Like, you cannot just make this. They literally tell you this stuff in advance straight to your face. But again, the mainstream media is never going to just come out and be like, hey guys, we're going to piece all this together for you all. So go out and invest in crypto because here's all the info right here for you. No, you got to tap in. You got to pay attention. Now is the time to completely transform your family bloodline. And so many people are going to drop the ball. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video breakdown. Just again, painting a perspective for you all to show you guys that there's a 110% of massive wealth transformation happening behind the scenes. These large family offices, family bloodlines, royal families, right? The largest asset managers, pension fund managers in the world know about this digital transformation. So don't think for 1 second that they're not going to be capitalizing on adopting these digital assets into their portfolio over the coming years as regulatory clarity becomes more clear. Do not get left behind by being shaken out by these drastic pullbacks whenever they do happen, and instead see them as opportunities to expand on blue chip digital assets that you have done your due diligence and research on. I got to give a quick shout out to the CYPRX research team for always constantly digging up this information. Such great, valuable information. If you guys don't follow the CYPRX research team over on X, make sure that you guys do so if you want access to any of this information before it reaches our platforms, i.e. YouTube or X. You guys can head over to our CYPRXtrading.com website and tap into our private Discord where we're constantly sharing gems like this on a daily basis. With that being said, many blessings to you guys. Be cognizant, be aware out there, and I'll see you all in the next video breakdown.